There's a name for it, just like every time there's a hurricane or a typhoon, it gets named, and there's a list of the names in advance. So so this moon tonight.
There's a name for.
Ooh, that's quite loud. Tonight is called Hunter's Moon. So we've done several moon occasions, like once every year, and I just want to do a quick survey. How many of you celebrate the full moon or acknowledge it like I do? Okay, there's a Chinese term called 赏月. 赏 means to appreciate. So 赏月 means to actually, look at the moon and appreciate it and talk about it. So, I just realized I didn't do my. All right, so I'm gonna make sure your sunglasses are nearby. So I'm gonna present a song that I did yesterday. I introduced to the new class. Okay, where did it go? Here, let me share that. Here, do you see it? Yeah, in front of you? Okay. So this is called Kojo no Tsuki. Let's say that. Kojo no Tsuki. Now, Japanese is a very syllabic language. It's very much like Hawaiian. You pronounce everything you see. All right. Even when we have here under the E7, you have this is you want to go. All right. So this is haru koro no hana no meguru saka. This Z is more like a z, not a zoo, but a tsuki, kazuki. Yeah. So I've got it written, I put this together so that we have the first verse on the first line, a second verse on the second line, third verse on the third line, fourth verse. So you see the fourth verse, you have te yeah? Te that takes up a note, jo, kagewa, and then kawa. And then the R sound is more like a L sound. So instead of a ra, it's like more like a la. Kawara nedo. Kawara nedo. All right. So pretty much that's, all you need to know to be able to sing to this. And notice that here we have the tsuru is different from tsuki. The z, tsuki, is different from tsuru. And the ru is more like lu. Okay, same thing. Kari, more like a L. And then here, E-I, the I is pronounced E. The E is pronounced E. So this is E, ko, wa, u. And make sure you do the u, okay? Tsuru, yo no sugata. Okay, and the CH is pronounced the way you see it, sh. So it's not like the Chinese pinyin, which is different. So, utsu san toteka imamo nao. You see all of this here. All right. And then again, we want to say Kojo. That basically is the ruined castle, or the castle that's no longer being used, or desolate. It's ko. It's a long O. Kojo no yowa no tsuki. Tsuki is the moon. Tsuki. Yeah. So this really means Kojo, the ruined castle. The word no, N-O, is a possessive term, meaning as if the moon belongs to the ruined castle. So it's a way to describe, the moon light on the castle. So that's what no means. And we use that a lot. You have hana no so something about the flower. Shimo no iro, yowa no tsuki. Okay, so that's enough about this. So let's go ahead and start playing this. You can all hear me and you're all muted. So, so this is the melody and this is the tab. So you see that 0, that means it's the E string, right? So this is G, C, E, A. Do I need to, let me just stop share for a second. Do I need to explain that, the tab, the G? Anybody not know it? Everyone? So it's like holding your ukulele upside down towards you, right? And reading the tab. Literally, the G is the lowest string. G, C, you know, G, C, E, A. So if I see this string that says a 0 here, that means, you know, the second from the top string, then I know I'm just going to pluck it without pressing anything. All right. Hi, Janice. Hi, Bonnie Esther. Okay. All right. So we're going to go through this to learn this song and be able to sing it. Okay. So here we go. What do I have here? High floating. And I have original sound on. So let's try that. Now I have a low G ukulele, but for this first line, doesn't matter if you have low G or high G. Okay, ready? And it's a very slow song. Haru koro no hana no meguru sa kazuki, and then it goes on. Okay, so in order to accompany it ourselves, you could play I'm going to play both the melody and the chord together so you can appreciate, you know, the fullness, the richness of it. Okay, ready and oops, sorry. Do the A minor. Ready and haru koro no hana no en meguru sa kazuki, and then it continues. Okay. Any questions about this? Raise your hand about what I just did. You could hear it. All right, let's do it again. So this is a 3-chord song. I forgot to tell everybody. It's a 3-chord song in a minor key. It's very slow. Let's try it again. And just for fun, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do the first line of the second verse. Okay, so here we are. Here all the way to the E7. So let's just stop there. Okay, so here are the lyrics. So we'll do it. Ready and haru koro no hana no e. Okay, we're gonna do it again, but this time we're gonna sing the second line, sorry, the first line of the second verse, which is here. Here. Okay. Ready? Aki jingai no shimo no iru ro. I messed that up. Let's do it again. I'm trying to read this and the chords and read the lyrics at the same time, which is hard. You could just do finger picking of the chords or strum it. Okay, so here we go. Ready and Aki jin ei no shimo no iro. All right. So now let's do the first line of the third verse. Again, just this line that you see here. Ready and Ima Kojo no Yowa no Tsuki. Just one more time. Ready and Ima Kojo no wa Yowa no Tsuki. Okay. Finally, the fourth verse, the first line of the fourth verse. A minor and then D minor, E7. Ready? Tenjo kage wa kawarane do. How was that? Okay. All right. So I am going to stop share now. Are you interested in the rest of the song? Yeah. So yesterday we did like more than 2 hours just on this song. Different ways to finger pick it, different ways to do chord melody, and also transpose it into different keys. But we don't have time to do it in 3-chord Thursday. So what I'm gonna do is just talk about the song. Oh boy, where did it go? And just learn it. Okay, so here we go. Here's the rest of the song. I'm gonna just share that so we could sing it. Yeah, accompany us sing it. So we just did the first line, the rest of the song. So this was the first line. Okay, let's continue from here. Meguru sa Kazuki. So let's start from the beginning again. Okay. Oh, can I make it so that you can see this? Let's try it. Ready? Haruko. Oh, sorry. This one, take out the U and the U. It should be ko and ro. I haven't fixed that. Ready and Haruko ro no hana no e meguru sa kazuki. And then second part, kagashi sate. Ready to continue to the next part. Ready here and chiyo no matsuga e wakei deshi. Here, she. And last part, mukashi no hikari. So, as you can see, this is not difficult to finger pick the individual notes if you have a low G ukulele. And the chords are not difficult, but it is very difficult for me to sing the low notes. I'm just curious here, any of you able to do this in your voice range? If you raise your hand, perhaps if you're a soprano, can you reach those notes? Or you're a very low alto? Ali, you could do it? Okay, so I'm just very curious because it seems that a lot of guitar solos and ukulele chord melody versions are in this key, but I haven't heard anybody sing it in this key. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna just stop share for a second. Curious, did anybody try to sing and play at the same time? Some of you did. Good. How did it feel singing in Japanese? Was it fun? It's fun, isn't it? It's not difficult, not like German or Russian or Chinese. Yeah, it's quite fun. So if you're interested in learning this song, I'll send you the sheet music to it. As you can see, I'm still working on getting the definitive version. And while we're at it, I just want to play a version in another key that I can actually sing in. So it's a C minor. So let me do that right now. And if you are an alto like me and you could sing it in C minor, let's go ahead and try it. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Here we go. C minor. Now, let's review the chords for the C minor. This is more challenging than an A minor because, we have the C minor, which you could either do it like this, like a bar chord with your index or middle finger like that, or you could do 3 fingers, just like your D chord. The beauty of doing a bar chord is you could actually reach the other notes, like you hold it down, like. And then we have the F minor. So going from the C minor, it's better to just slide up and then reach the F minor. Just slide up and do it. Yeah, take advantage of sliding rather than having to take your hands off and try to jump to find it. Okay, so it's a 3-chord song, so we're going to sing the first line of every verse. Okay, so here I don't have any chord symbols, so memorize the C minor and the F minor. Okay, ready? So let's do a little introduction. Let's do a C minor, G7, and C minor as an introduction. Okay, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful, yeah? Haru koro no hana no en. Okay, now I'm gonna roll up. First line of every section, ready, and meru meguru sa katsuki kage sa shite chiyo no matsuga e wakei deshi mukashi no hikari ima izuko. So it's still a little bit too low for me when the ko. So I wonder if I could make it a little bit higher to D minor. So here's a test. If C minor goes up to a D minor, where does F minor go to? G minor, right? G minor, very good. And where does G7 go to?
G7.
Wait, A7, you mean? A7, right. So everything goes up the next alphabet letter, right? C minor goes to D minor, F, we could all do our alphabet, right? F minor goes to G minor, G7 goes to A7. So do we know the G minor chord? 0, 2, 3, 1. 0, 2, 3, 1. Okay. Do we know the D minor chord? We just did it earlier, right? 2, 2, 1, 0. And we know the A7 chord, 0, 1, 0, 0. Okay. So this is something I want to just share with you. I've talked about it a lot in 3 Chord Thursday. When it's too low for you, let's just transpose it higher. So see if we could do this. So we're doing mental gymnastics here, mentally transposing by sight. All right, so if anybody asks you, can you transpose by sight on sight? You could say, yes, I can. I just did it in 3 Chord Thursday. All right, so D minor. Ready, and 하루 걸어놓 하나 노행 매구루사 가수기 가게사 시테 and then 시오노 마츠가에 와게이데시 무카시노 히카리 이마이츠코. Well, I could hit the D minor, I could hit the low notes, but just barely. Can you hear that? I like, So let's see if we could go up just a little bit higher. See if we could do E minor. All right. So instead of C minor, and by the way, you could write it down in pencil if you wanted to help you. C minor, we're going to do E minor. So instead of F minor, we're going to do what? Keep going up, right? A minor, right? So this is E minor, A minor, and instead of a G7, we're going to do a B7. So B7 is what? 4, 3, 2, 0. Looks like an E minor, but move it closer to you. E minor is 0, 4, 3, 2. Okay, let's try that. So ready. And by the way, I hope you're singing along with me. Okay. Ready, and 하루코. I can't reach the high notes. 하루코 로노 하나 노행 매구루사 가수키. My voice is breaking. 가게 사시테. And then, okay. 지요노마 추가에 와게이데시 무카시노 히카리 So the verdict is, even though it's easier on the low part, I have such a short vocal range, my voice breaks. So I better go back to D minor, which is the better key for me. So I just want to get some feedback here. How did it feel for you? Have you got the song pretty much in your head right now, kind of? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm just struggling, but I think that's because I'm new and I just have to look up every note that you say somewhere, flipping randomly through pages, but I'll get there.
Okay, every chord, you mean? Or
that's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, this is such a lot to ask of anyone to learn a foreign song, right? A foreign language you've never heard of, and then not see the chord diagrams above or the notes, or raise your hand if you've ever heard of this song before. You've never heard of it. Okay, Debbie, you have, yeah.
It's pretty.
Very beautiful.
So
Yeah.
just
I
something.
haven't heard of it, but I know of other Japanese songs, so it's similar.
I would say it's probably the second, if not the third, most famous Japanese song. Does anyone know what the most famous Japanese song is? Sakura. Sakura, sakura. It's like the Chinese song Jasmine Flower, you know. This song, Ruined Castle, was written in 1901 by a young man who basically took the words, wrote the melody to teach these school children. Yeah, but so there was no accompaniment to it, and then at the age of 20 or 19 or something, very young, he went to Leipzig, yeah, in Germany to study at the conservatory, and sadly he contracted tuberculosis, so he died at the tender age of 22. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just
MJ.
making the world's smallest violin connoting sadness, melancholy,
Oh,
empathy.
okay.
You know, so sad.
Yeah, it's really sad. Yeah, and then somebody else kind of tweaked it a little bit and became the more famous version, 1917 version. And then, of course, Thelonious Monk, 1950s, did a jazz version of it and became so famous. And the German rock band, the Scorpions, they were in Japan and they played it, 1979 version. But what was interesting is the guy sang it a cappella, the lead singer, and then he got the crowd, the audience, to sing also unaccompanied. And then the lead guitarist did this amazing solo with drums and, you know, bass and everything. And it became such a big hit. So, all right.
Question.
Yes, go ahead, Eileen.
Does the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain do this? Because I think I totally went.
I was
Okay,
hoping somebody would say that.
Then I have heard it.
Yes. The Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain went to Japan. They learned this song and they tried to replicate the Japanese harp, which is the koto. It's a zither. Replicate it with the ukulele, and is a fantastic version of it. And I would love for my ukulele class in person to be able to replicate that and play. It's just amazing. If you close your eyes, it just sounds like the ukulele orchestra is one grand koto, like they're in Japan. You know, they do the tremolos, so it sounds like that. They do they do the bends, like how they. So you bend with your left hand, like, so here's a bend, like that. Try that. So take a, you know, say take a fifth fret, take the C string, you know, and use your thumb. So when you do a bend, you want to move it sideways. All right. So so I'm showing a little bit of left hand technique. So basically you pluck it and then you move it sideways. Do you hear it kind of goes wow? Do you hear that? Kind of a wow sound. Yeah. Okay. And what else do they do? I don't know if they do any hammer-ons. A hammer-on is if you pluck it, like the A string, and then you hit it. You know. But there's some slides. A slide is like this. If I pluck it, say I'm here on the A string, right? And I pluck it, and I just slide my left finger. So there's all these fun things you can do with the ukulele that we just haven't done, but we should. Okay, let's have our photo pose, and we have half an hour left to explore other songs about the moon. Did you all see that I had Moonshadow, and the moon represents my heart on the web page? So we'll count to 3, and then got your sunglasses. Eileen, you don't have your sunglasses. There's no sunshine in Maine that you need to wear sunglasses.
There is, but I always forget to get them, and I have to angle myself too much to go get them.
Oh, okay. All right, let's try this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the wild one. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I forgot to mention, everyone, that I deliberately wore my Japanese vest for you all today. My late friend, Hiroko Fowler in California, in Irvine, sadly, she passed away, several decades ago. She was 48. And yeah, when I went and visited her family, her husband gave me this many years later. So it's a really nice vest. It's a Japanese, with Japanese writing on it. And you all know that I spent 11 years of my life in Okinawa, Japan. I grew up in Japan. So there's an affiliation there.
Speaking of death, did anybody watch Shogun?
No.
The
New version?
original. Well, I
New-
watched the original with Richard Chamberlain.
Yeah, no Richard Chamberlain. But
Yeah.
it's interesting. Female heroine, they kill her off at the end of the first series, so who knows if they'll ever do it again. But it was very interesting.
Is that on Netflix?
I don't know which one it's on. But you know me, I'm on them for a month and then cancel. So like I just move my subscription around a lot depending on what I read a review of. So I can't tell you what it's on, but
All right.
The book was
so-
really good.
So just curious, raise your hand if you want to learn this song. I know Eileen wants to. Great. Wonderful. All right, add that to your repertoire. And so just a little backstory. I found Moon Over Rune Castle much earlier, and I thought, wow, it's so beautiful. Wouldn't it be great for, to study it and do it? And then I played it at a retirement party of Kiyoshi, who's from Japan, up in New Hampshire, just a few days ago. And that's when I realized I don't know this song at all. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't even have the correct verse, And, in the sheet that I got, it wasn't correct. So I had this panic attack thinking, how can I perform? Has this ever happened to you? When you say, I want to do that, let me sing. And then when you're performing, you realize you don't know it. Maybe you only know the chorus or something. Eileen, it's happened to you? Yeah. And then you realize, oh my gosh. Or it's not in your key like me. I was trying to do it in A minor. It's like, oh, I can't do it. It's too low for me. Right? Terrible. So Bonnie Esther is in my ukulele class. And I just want to ask you, do you know which key you could do this in? Because I know you're a soprano.
I think I can sing it in A minor.
You could do it in A minor? Okay.
Yeah, I play it well enough.
But you could sing it in A minor, just like Allie. Oh, great. Wonderful. All right. Does anybody want to sing it or perform it right now after what we did? Sightseeing? Not yet? Okay. Because you know what? Let's see, the next time we're going to meet, I'm pretty sure is that right? Sad but beautiful songs? Is that right? That Eve suggested that. So this could be one of those songs, because it's in a minor key. It's very slow. When you think of sad and beautiful songs, usually it's slow, right? In a minor key or something. Does anybody know a sad and beautiful song that's fast and in a major key? Or I don't know any. Okay, let's talk about some happy songs. All right, so here we go. Again, this
Hey, I want to
Eve.
give a plug to the moon today. It's supposed to be the biggest it is the whole year at 6 o'clock. The moon is rising tonight.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Bonnie Esther, you're a bit soft. Maybe you want to raise
no.
your input volume.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's much
Yeah,
better.
just
Right.
didn't have it near my mouth. Yeah.
Okay.
6
Yeah,
o'clock.
please,
Moon rising.
please. I really hope it's not so cloudy that you can't see the moon, because that's happened a lot. So when you see it, maybe you could play this piece, or check out all the different versions because if you click on this Moon Over Ruined Castle, you'll see that I have a separate page because I was going to give a workshop on this. But the only time we could have a piano class is this afternoon at 4:30. So I gave it up and thought I would just introduce it in 3-Chord Thursday. So thank you for attending. You see, here's the E minor version. So the original version that I used, I actually had lots of different chord changes, but it's not necessary. You could hold the E minor all the way to here. You know, skip the E minor, B7, E minor, B7. Same thing when we did it in A minor, just hold it all the way, you know. So this is the Scorpions version, you know, so go to that web page. This is George Winston's piano version. He made it famous as well. And Thelonious Monk's version got famous because in the movie La La Land, there was reference to it. There was a short clip, so you hear it. And then more recently, I have no idea. I think you have to be very young to know Cyberpunk. They made a version of it, you know. And here, I still use the U and the U. I think it should just be ko, not U. So I need to correct that. So that's in G minor.
I put the link to the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain in the chat.
Oh, yes. Here it is. If you keep scrolling down that page, you will see the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain. They're so funny. They said they went to Japan and heard this ukulele piece on the koto, a Japanese song. So now they decided to bring it back to the ukulele. You know. So then if you want to know the meaning behind the words, you could go there. So again, that's this link under the Hunter's Moon here. I'll leave it there so you could click on it and go to it. So if you want to celebrate the moon, the previous 3-Chord Thursdays, last year we did Blue Moon. 2022 we did another full moon. 2021 we did a full moon one. And in 2020 I arranged Moonshadow for the it was over the Pacific Northwest, and it was it's Port Townsend. I was supposed to go, but of course the pandemic happened, so I gave a workshop, a 1-hour workshop on Moonshadow, and the other song was Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. So notice that. So this song, I'm just going to try to make it, there it is. So if you want to download this, I'm just going to, just click on it and then you could download it. I'm going to put it in the chat it's just a 1-page thing, Moonshadow in D. Okay. So you could download that. Oh, why isn't it allowing me to? Okay. Cat Stevens. So if I really think to get more out of playing the ukulele, instead of just strumming and singing, we really need to get the introduction in, all these instrumental solos, the intro, the interludes, so you can take a break from singing, the outros. And this is what's so fun about it. Now this is on a high G ukulele, so I'm gonna have to switch. Those of you that have 2 ukuleles, you're very fortunate because you could just switch, right? So I'm gonna leave it here while you take a look at this and get your high G ukulele. All right, so this riff is very important because it occurs, does it occur again? Yes, here in the interlude after the 4th verse, okay? So So it's really cool to play it. So I'll do it really slowly. Actually, you know what? I'm going to download it. I'm going to share it separately so that it shows up better on the screen. And if you're, here we go. Here we go. So 1970 it came out, and let's take a look at the chords before we go into this. We have A, we know, A7, D. Going from D to D sus4, I like to just stretch my ring finger. Yeah. We know the E7 already, so I put the finger numbers in here. From E7 to E minor 7, you could also just pick up your index finger. If you pick up your index finger, lift it off, then you have the E minor 7, right? But if you were to do this E minor 7, another name for E minor 7 is G6, then you get to the G more easily, all right? So let's take a look. So we'll do it really slowly. So we have the A string corresponds to the 1, and then you pick it again. Right, so I'll count to 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So here is actually either a hammer or it's more like a slide. You go, okay, you see what I just did? You could do it fast, because if I do it fast, it sounds like. And then I do a slide here, okay? All right, let's go to here, G. What happens? So you basically finger, I show you that your left hand is actually got these two pressed. So 3 and 4 and. So to be able to reach that 4, hold down these two fingers and then have your pinky reach for the 4th fret, yeah? Okay, and then you could slide your pinky, your whole hand to reach that 5th fret. And then you have this big stretch. Your index finger has to get to the 2nd fret of the C string. And then this is my way of saying pluck the G string and then hammer on the 2nd fret. So use my right thumb to pluck the G string, open G string, and then my left finger, index finger, will hammer on it. So it sounds like this. And then the D string, all right? So this is a complicated riff, but if I play it fast, it sounds like this. 3, 3, 4. Okay, even faster would be. Okay, all right. So it takes a little bit of practice to get that. But if you don't want to do that, you could just strum along, all right? So we'll strum along the intro. Ready, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. I'm being followed by a moonshadow, moonshadow, moonshadow. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit, because going from the D to the D sus4 is just what I said here. Just slide your ring finger down, right? Let's all do it. Make sure. Just do that. So grab that. I got it. So do that. Okay. And then notice that, okay. Yeah. So Debbie, if you found another version by Herb Ota, is that the Moon? If you put the link in there, that would be great. All right. So that's good to know because we need to do a quick one. I'm being followed by a moon shadow. And then go to the G, moon shadow, moon shadow. So notice because the A7 is so short, you know, so when you go from the G to the A7, just slide your index finger to the first fret, right? Right? Moon, shadow, moon, moon, shadow, moon, and then shadow. So here, it's almost easier to do middle finger, ring finger, pinky on the D. So you could go from the moon, the A7, to the D. But then you have to slide your pinky to do the D sus4. So this is kind of tricky because the A7 is so fast. You have to go from the A7 to the D. So didn't think about that before. All right. And then, so let's try this slowly. The starting note is the A, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. By the way, sometimes in order to give it an effect, you don't want to overdo it. So if we have this D, D sus4, D, because it's really nice to hear that. You could leave out the D sus4 here. Just keep a straight D. Similar to what I was saying before about the moon over ruined castle. You know, you don't need to switch chords so many times. So what would happen if we don't have the D sus4 here and just have the D? Let's try that. Ready? I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. What do you think? You don't need that D sus4, do you? Right? So let's skip that D sus4. I'm going to redo this. Every time, years later, I look at what I used to do. I go, I'm so critical. All right, the next one, leaping, ready. And leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. It's really good to have that da-dum, down, up, down, down. That's what I did. On the D, down, up, down, down. All right, down, up, down, down. Down on the D sus4 and another down on the D. So down, up, down, down. All right, so here we start to switch quite a lot. Yeah, so you could just do down, up, down, up, down, up. And if I ever lose my hands. See, when you just do down, up gently, because before I was doing the calypso strum, then you don't have to pay attention to what your right hand is doing. You could just focus on your left hand, right? Because your right hand is just doing down, up, down, up, down, up, okay? And it's quite fast. So let's try again. And ready? And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land. Oh, if I ever lose my hand, oh, I won't have to work no more. Make sure you have that. No more. Down, up, down, down. Okay. And then you go to the verse 2. And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, yes, if I ever lose my eyes, oh yeah, I won't have to cry no more. So here's something I like us to, I want you to deliberately hear the open string when you are switching between these chords. All right, listen to that. So that it sounds like this. If I ever lose my eye, you hear that? You hear that open string? Right? I'm switching chords, but I'm deliberate, so I do it more slowly. And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry. Do you hear that? On the up strum, you hear my fingers, all my fingers are off the keyboard, off the fretboard. Does that sound bad to hear the open strings? It doesn't. It's okay. So allow yourself to do that when you have very fast chord switches, and sometimes deliberately. So how do we do that? And if I, on the ever, the first syllable, I'm trying to switch to the D, but my right hand is on the up. So it's like, and if I, you know, my left hand is hammering on. And so if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, yes, if I ever lose my eyes, oh, so here I deliberately use my middle and ring finger to play the E minor 7, because my middle finger was used for the D, and it's just faster to do that. And then because I'm going to go back to the D, so I keep my middle finger and move to the first fret to do my A7, and then I make the D. By the way, I'm not sure if it's E or E. We'll have to listen to Cat Stevens to see how he does it, okay? So it's okay to use different fingers when the switching is repeated or happens fast, just to make it easier for you, because probably normally you use your index finger to do the A7, but here it's easier to use the middle finger. Okay, make sure you have that hook. More, down, up, down, down. So this is a down and a down, and then we go back to the chorus, and then we have the interlude that happen, and then we have the third and fourth verse. Oh, sorry, the interlude is after the fourth verse. So let's just go to the bridge. The bridge, we introduce the E7 chord and then the A chord, which we've done before, the E7 from the previous song, and then the A chord. This is really cool. And you notice it's just the two chords going back and forth. So, did it take long to find me as the faithful light? Oh, did it take long to find me? And are you gonna stay the night? And then you go back to the chorus. So then we have the repeat the chorus, Moonshadow, 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 and it kind of fades away. So this song is very, very interesting for me, because it's got this interesting riff that's used in the intro and the interlude. It's got the D sus4, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. And then the third thing is in the verse, you have fast switches, but you want to deliberately lift your fingers off to hear this open, you know, so it's cool. So I'll do two versions. One, I take it off deliberately and you can hear that. And the other one where I don't take it off. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land. Okay, now I'll do it, but without deliberately hearing the open strings. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land. It's harder for me to switch without hearing the open strings. You know, it's much harder. So yeah. So go ahead and try that. It's really hard to switch without hearing the open strings. Okay. So this is available to you. You see I erased that. So this is D to E minor 7. And the good news is you could actually play along with Cat Stevens, because he did it in this key, which is wonderful, you know. Who's done this song before? Who's sung this song? You have, Debbie? Did you do it in this key? And Christine, you did it too? Did you do this version of it? or how did you do this?
I didn't do this version. I like it a
You
lot.
like it?
Oh yes, very
Are
nice.
are you gonna do the did you do the intro riff when you did this
No, we
version?
didn't have any of that. Just straightforward singing it and playing the chords. And I like the riff and the idea of lifting your hand off when you're switching chords. I like that sound.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like very nice.
Yeah. Give yourself permission to do that and make it work for you, you know. So the other song that's on the list, I'm not going to have time to go through it, but Debbie was in my Chinese class, Mandarin class, and we did Moon Represents My Heart, which is one of the most famous love songs, Chinese, modern, Chinese love songs. Moon represents my heart. So every time you see the moon, you feel not just with longing, but it's like reunion, love, right? For people far away. Otherwise, why would you bother, right? They're looking at the same moon as well. Okay, so that's also on the link. And I see we don't meet again until for another 2 weeks. No, sorry, it's not sad but beautiful songs. What? Was it?
There's
Really?
5 Thursdays, so the 31st, Halloween.
You're right.
Open session, yeah.
That's right. So next week is the 4th one. So I guess Rosemarie or is Bonnie Esther gonna host the recital club? Everyone knows about the recital club, right? It's just kind of a bonus. Yeah, you hang out and chat, and it's an open mic, and nothing is shared unless you want to share. Nothing is recorded. Yeah, so the next one is, well, we don't have a 5th one. You're right, Allie. We don't have a 5th Thursday, and that's Halloween. And then the next time we meet is the 7th of November, right, which is Sad But Beautiful Songs. So let me just share that. And so start thinking about sad but beautiful songs. I know one song I wanted to do, and maybe I'll introduce that in the ukulele class, is Autumn Leaves, because it's also in a minor key. And I think I've done that in Through Chord Thursday before. And most of the time, the song sheets you see, they have like at least 11 different chords. But I managed to reduce it to 5 chords. So, yeah, so we don't have any requests yet for performance. So that's the 7th. And what's happening after the 7th? It's television, isn't it? I think so. It's World TV Day, 21st of November. So this is where you do songs from television. I have to admit that I get very addicted if I have a TV, so I don't have a TV. But commercials count too. So what I want to do for that, if we don't have other requests, is to show you how to play the theme to Jeopardy tune. All right, so that's an instrumental piece. So you could actually reduce it to a 3-chord piece, C, F, G7. But it's fun to kind of pick it. And then who's watched that game, Jeopardy? All right. If you watch it, do you notice that it actually modulates to different keys? It doesn't stay in the same key. So that's pretty cool, to be able to do that. So I think I have sheet music I made it available on the Through Chord Thursday Facebook page. And if you search for it on the website, you'll find it. So that's about all. Anything anybody want to report? I'm going to the holiday party 1st of December, Sunday, was it Waltham? And Bonnie Esther, you're going too, right?
Yeah, it's not the 1st, right?
I think the 1st. It's the Sunday of Thanksgiving.
I'm getting confused with my daughter's thing.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is very late, isn't it? It's the last Thursday of the month, and then we have our holiday stroll in this building on Saturday, and then Janice, are you going to the holiday party? Waltham's not far from you. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Last year, MJ came to
It
the
was
holiday
fun.
stream.
Next
And
I
you-
year
can't go
always
this
the
year
same
because I'll
thing.
be out in the country for Thanksgiving, but it was fun last year.
It
Weird.
was it was especially, I can't believe it was fun for you when you didn't even have a ukulele then. You didn't even know how to play the ukulele. You still joined us and had fun.
Thanksgiving is always on the same day, right?
No, Thanksgiving
Last
is a few days
Thursday.
before. Yeah.
November, yeah.
Yeah. This is a Sunday, the 1st of December. Yeah. Yeah. So Janice, there you go. You know, and Christine, if you ever come over, you're part of Massachusetts. So you're invited to come
you.
to the holidays.
This year, though, I'll be in Arizona visiting my sister then.
So you'll be away. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds fun. I was going to say there's one song I really like for the sad ones is In the Bleak Midwinter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's a
beautiful.
pretty song.
Very.
Is that like a Christmas song?
Yes. Yeah. I sang at Christmas time.
Wow. Is that in a major key? minor.
I
I don't have it right in front of me, but I'd have to.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm really glad we're doing this theme because when I asked my club in London about sad songs or songs in minor keys, they just looked at me quizzically like, are you crazy? We only do uplifting songs. That's why we're here. We're here to celebrate and have fun. Who wants to do sad songs on the ukulele? Right? All right. Well, thank you all then.
Blue eyes crying in the rain.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's a good one.
Yeah. There's plenty of beautiful. And the ukulele sounds beautiful, doesn't it? When we go like this. Right? When you, right? Yeah.
Yes, in the
Lullabies.
bleak midwinter, I have it in the key of G.
So it's a major key. Yeah. But it's
So it
still,
has an E minor in it.
right, sad and
Blue
beautiful.
Bayou is a beautiful
Very pretty.
sad song.
Yeah, that's a lovely one. So,
How about
well, you've got,
Makes My Brown Eyes Blue?
that's a nice one. It's almost like we need a blue theme, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
So we got lots of time to practice, you know, and I haven't heard you all in a while. So request, you know, it's not just request, but offer, volunteer to sing something. Okay. All right. Well, it's great seeing you all. Thank you very much.
Hi, thank you,
All right.
Anne.
Thanks
You'll
for-
get the sheet music to
great.
this Japanese song. Great. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'll see Debbie soon, half an hour for piano. All right.